Good afternoon and welcome to DieDragonDie presents the Legends campaign. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Adam, Mark, and Ahmed. How is everyone doing? I am at my new place. I'm coming to you from under the stairs. Stairs. I got my little office set up here. So everything's just a little bit different. That's the reason why. We weren't able to game last weekend. We were down one player and all of my shit was being moved. So that was the excuse, but we're going to go back to our regular schedule and try to of Legends every Saturday, and then we'll try to get some additional games in through the week. So, how is everyone's couple of weeks?
Woo! 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 I need game now. Start.
My in-laws were in town last weekend.
Ooh, he needs a game more than I do.
I can sense the enthusiasm, Mark. Do your in-laws watch the show?
No, not that I'm aware of.
All right.
Just in case, I will just say I'm pleased to be gaming this weekend.
You guys are funny.
Good times.
So, in-laws, Mark, Adam, how's it going?
It's going good. We planted grass last week.
Welcome to homeowning.
Welcome to homeowning.
So a very profitable future.
So like weed grass or
no.
The legal stuff.
No, like
It's not
rye,
legal till next year.
Okay.
like rye seed.
Okay.
But I had this brilliant idea that I don't need no rototiller. It's just a tiny patch of earth. I could do it by hand.
A road what?
A rototiller. Speaking of home ownership,
that?
Ahmed, do you know what a rototiller is?
No, man. I do it old school.
You do it old school. You pay your French neighbor to do it. That's what you do.
No, I do everything myself. Son, what's going on?
So how do you break soil?
I can't say here. A sledgehammer, man. How else are you gonna break soil?
How else are you gonna break soil? So I bought this
Sledgehammer.
hand tiller,
Yeah.
and I hand tilled until I had these deep muscle bruises in both my hands, and my ass cheeks hurt because you had to push so much torque on it. My hammies and my glutes were just fucking burning from a day and a half of this tilling.
You're doing it wrong.
Like I could have got a rototiller.
You might want to check on the internet how to do this. Be careful though.
There's a 1 week in, my wife went, "We should put sod down." I'm like, no. It takes 2 weeks to germinate, but it's not growing yet. It hasn't germinated.
It's best if you're gonna. Well, you're putting it down. Are you laying a carpet or are you actually planting?
Ahmed, we seeded. So
Seeded. Okay.
we tilled, we tamped,
time
we
to do
seeded.
that?
I checked the pH and we checked the phosphates and nitrogen.
Best time to do that is April or May.
This is the inane shit, and kind of the reason why I don't own a home. I could go and figure out how to go and own a home. One, it would add an hour to my commute, basically, to have a home. Two, it's just me. Why the fuck would I do that? Three, I don't enjoy yard work and fucking keeping up maintenance, and I'd rather be tinkering on game shit, listening to music, going to sing karaoke, drinking beer, watching hockey, playing Dungeons and Dragons video games.
Dude,
a little bit of rollerblading.
you make it sound like you buy a house for you. You don't buy a house for you. It's your cave.
It's not a choice.
Where do you bury the bodies of your enemies?
That might be one perk
he
of
just
home
eats
ownership,
them.
at least until... That means you can never leave that home, right?
No. You just need some lye. That's all. You're good.
Oh. Things you did not know about friends that you've had for years.
You haven't talked to Rob recently, have you?
No, I haven't. Is he buried in your backyard?
I heard he's on vacation for a long time.
Hilarious. Okay, so, and then Ahmed, how was your 2 weeks?
That's all right.
So you did yard work. Adam, that's cool.
Yard work.
It most certainly is not, I can tell you.
No, I have a respect for people that have homes and take care of them. Just
You don't want to.
It destroys your mind. So I did the same thing. I did yard work. I've got 2 very large bushes outside my house that I took, like, I pulled out of the ground. Now, when you use regular tools, you asked, when you use regular tools, like the ones you go out at Walmart or whatever, it takes you a while. Your arms get sore and everything. It took me about 30 minutes to take the first bush out, and I said, screw this crap. Walked down to my basement, got a machete, because I do martial arts and I have a lot of weapons. Took my machete that's sharpened, and it took 5 minutes, and I had chopped that puppy down in no time. The sad part is, I looked like I was murdering someone in front of my lawn.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's one of the things that.
Hey man, I had it up to here with the bushes. and every 30 seconds, my wife comes along. Why don't you just pull it out of the ground? Do you have any idea how hard it is? I don't get it. You're just doing it wrong. Come on, get out of here.
So.
And my kids come and help. That's great.
So usually you would use an axe for that to be a little less aggressive looking, but you can also use either a jack.
Oh, this was way more effective. Way more effective than an
cathartic.
Axe. And you probably scared all of your neighbors. All of your neighbors know not to mess with them.
Nobody asks me for anything.
You go to the front yard and kill weeds with a machete.
Hey, it was very gratifying. I was like, I threw it away. I was like, showed it.
I showed you, bitch.
You're the crazy person on your block, you realize. Oh no, don't go play with his kids.
just don't be surprised if you don't get many trick-or-treaters this year.
Exactly.
That's all. No, we're not going to Machete Man's place.
So I bought myself no buggery from the neighbors.
So
buggery is one of those words that has multiple meanings.
I get what he was trying to say.
Good God, man!
So yeah, I've set up my apartment. I'm about 80% done. I've got some wall art to hang, and then some stuff to still set up in the bedroom. But that's about it. All my gaming stuff is here. All my computers are set up. Let's go. All right. So last game 51, we called "It's Time to Shine." We did Donovan's backstory. So each of the players around the table are going to run a second PC. I haven't updated the panels yet, so you don't have their tokens. But we're doing Midwick's story today, which is backstory today, which is Ahmed's character, and then last week we did Donovan, which is Adam's character, and then next week we will do Azildan, who has come back from the dead. A little worse for wear. He's come back from the dead, and we'll resume kind of like in a time-wise, like Uker just finishing the ritual with Baldur's Bottle to bring Azildan back. But meanwhile, Donovan, we went through his backstory. He is from Mythloros on Lyria, which is the same place that Oberon was from. In fact, there was a scene where they were doing their first showcase of their talents as youth elves, and Oberon had gone on stage before Donovan to show that he was a white wizard, and Donovan went on stage to show that from his chime he was able to cast a spell that then created a grand piano, which he played, crushing his father's heart. Because his father was
I don't want to be a smith, father. I want to sing.
Yeah, he was an elven swordsmith, and you got the sense that your father was one of the few smiths in Mythloros, and you knew that he could put magic into blades. He also had the title because, if we recall, elves on Mythloros are basically the refugees, or there was an exodus from Crucible as the Dragonrot Cataclysm sort of like destroyed or damaged the world, and a lot of the elves ended up there. But they had enough time where they kind of knew things were going wrong, where they moved basically a Louvre worth of art, an academy worth of magic and artifacts and all sorts of things to Mythloros. So you came from a rich magical background. Mythloros being, it has a magical field that surrounds it, that binds it, that holds it all. No.
Whee!
A magical field that basically kept the elves healthy. helped with some of their boo-boos, and basically allowed each of the major elves to major elven nation or clans to have their own sort of pocket dimension mansion. So you grew up in this area, and you were kind of this crop of elven youth that were not scarred, did not have living memory of the Exodus and the horrors of the dragon-wrought cataclysms. Many of the elves in Mythloros never want to leave. Many of them just sort of perfected their craft, and there's a whole generation of elves that do remember the horrors that have taken solitude or taken solace in the sanctuary of Mythloros. Now, your generation want to see what's out there. And there is an artifact that the elves have on Mythloros called the Ring of the Gods. The Ring of the Gods on Mythloros, the elves know how to use. In fact, that's probably how they arrived here on Lyria. There was a group beholden to the coronal. Now, the coronal of Mythloros wasn't doing too well. He seemed to be growing into the tree that the village of Mythloros was built around. And so, but you are loyal to him, or at least you paid fealty to him, or swore fealty to him. And the coronal maintains a group called the Sojourners. Now, the Sojourners are the ones that are entrusted with the use of the eye of the gods, the gate that leads to other places that have also eyes of the gods. Something that you guys figured out in episode something like 13 or something like that, and then this is the other party, and then gave away to a red dragon saying we don't want Acropolis. Anyways,
that's exactly how it happened. That was perfect. Nailed it.
Got it. That's 50 games worth of material. If you disagree with my interpretation, But the Ring of the Gods, there is also one in the capital of the Vosgardian nation of Osland, and the High King uses this to go raiding and trade with onto other worlds. But the elves use this to go and seek out other elves and to seek out elven artifacts.
Shirast also brought up the good main point about the sterility.
Yes, there are some things going on in Mythloros. Now, this
the
was
elvish
a backstory,
doodles don't work,
and we had to kind of cram everything into one game because, like, I'm sure that we could play a game where it's just based on Mythloros, and all of you play elves, and the whole campaign could probably be there. But we crammed a lot of things into that one game. But there are some issues and troubles going on with the elves. One, we made reference to a sterility problem. And then two, there's something that's hunting elves, dissecting them for parts. And as a young sojourner, Donovan was entrusted with not necessarily going through the gate, because he had the ability to sing to the gods themselves. And to access the Ring of the Gods, you need to sing particular notes. So Donovan knows a number of addresses or a number of songs that are keys to other worlds. And his responsibility was to guard the gate room and to sing the gate open. So he did that for many years. This put him in a place of prominence to realize, a place of importance to realize that there was a struggle within Mythloros going on over control of the gate. People who were not part of the Sojourners were using the gate. And one day there was a grand battle as somebody was trying to use the gate or battle in towards the gate. And Donovan began teleporting around. And this is when you realize that an NPC, a really happy-go-lucky
Devin!
An NPC named Devin was actually indeed a dragon. You don't know what type he was, but you can take your guesses.
Awesome. That's the type.
That's when that was revealed. And so you know that there are some hostile elements. Donovan actually helped Aosh, Azildan's master, access the gate to go to Agrova to bring Isildan to Agrova. If it wasn't for Donovan, there would have been a horrible, horrible time discontinuity. There would have been some sort of like, well, fuck. but given there was a backstory, there was a really awesome give and take there with the players, and they understood. Well, okay, this is us explaining what
This
happened
is what
in my
needs
past.
to happen. Yeah.
What happens in the past.
I kill the dragon, I slay the baby.
I wouldn't run all games like that because there are different methods of playing a game like that, and D&D or Pathfinder doesn't quite do it very well. But for a backstory sort of thing, that worked out really fine. So that's interesting that that you helped out a half-elven child and a monk by the name of Eosh to get to Agrova. Mm-hmm. And you also know that Agrova was put on a list of places not to go because they thought there were necromantic dangers there.
They were not mistaken.
Not only did I do that, I also destroyed the records of the song to Agrova.
Yes, so you actually remember the song, but you destroyed the records of the song itself. Sometime later, like for an elf, I think it was probably, well, how old is Isildan, basically?
He's 30 now?
Yeah, so approximately 20-some years later. There was an event where... Was it the same event? No, it wasn't the same event.
I got brain goo on myself from the first event. The second event was years later. It was described as at least 2 years later.
Got it. Yeah, this is more like recent history, like very recent history. This is the event that sent Oberon into the past, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you saw the event where something was capturing elves, these horribly gaunt, strange creatures. There was one that was white that was kind of like a doctorish, and another alien creature that was red that were acting as sort of the handlers, and they were capturing elves and wheeling them through some sort of breach in the planar boundaries. And you saw the horrors of them dissecting elves like they were dead pigs in a high school biology class.
Do not want.
Mixed with sort of a sterile, almost like factory type horror. And you saw the White Wizard, a glimpse of him saving Oberon. And it would be the same sort of event that would happen that catapulted you into the same place that Oberon ended up. In Sailor Wormbine. On Vosgard.
Shouldn't have helped the elf.
But there was a distinct problem, and you may not know the juxtaposition, people watching may have. The White Wizard, when he came to you, there was some sort of strange malfunction or time dilation or skipping. The jaunt through the plains was the most horrible jaunt you've ever experienced. You thought you were going to be ripped apart. The stone that the White Wizard gave you is now stuck where? In one of your ribs? Is that what we say? It's in your sternum.
It's in my sternum.
And when you appeared, you didn't appear just nicely next to the standing stone, the rune stone outside Sailor
in Dragon.
Wormbine. You appeared half in the wall where there was a great dragon skeleton that had been set up at sort of like the far end of the from the entrance of Sailor Wormbine, and you were physically fused into the ribs and bones of the dragon adorning the wall.
This is less enjoyable.
There was a strange thing that you, aside from, you noticed that there was the body of a really old wrinkly man that was also stuck in the wall with you, and then a struggling gnome who is also similarly fused. And I believe you ended the game with, we'll find out next time where your stone is stuck. But there was something very, very wrong with the arrival. Something went bad.
Could have been better.
Yes. So we know how Donovan got there and who he is. What we don't know is who is Midwick. Midwick Sprockets, I believe, is the name of your character.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Okay. So why don't we switch views and start Midwick's backstory. Midwick is the gnome that appeared in Sailor Wormbine at the same time that Donovan did. Alright. Where? I just want to make sure that the Twitch chat is working on this view. Yep. Good. And let's get map 2. Why can't I see map tools? Ah. Oh, that is really, because my monitors are now switched left to right. Give me a second. XSplit is looking for an absolute value for the pixels.
Uh-oh.
So
Technical difficulty.
So the desktop region right is no longer valid. So I'm going to remove that.
Marty's secret adult material stash. Oh, that wasn't what we meant to show the people.
I will screen capture the entire screen. There we go. And then I'll drag this down. Okay, one of the things that I think went well last time was that we allowed the other players to DM a scene. I will set up the scene, or kind of like where everything is, and sort of the context of Midwick's character. Of course, this was based off of some of the input I got from Ahmed about his character, and I kind of expanded that stuff. But both Adam and Mark will get to play a scene, or run a scene for Midwick. So I'm looking forward to sitting back and seeing how fellow players punish another. All right. So there we've got Midwick.
I know where you lives. No promises.
Midwick is from the Imperium of the Throne Chrysleon. The Imperium of the Throne Chrysleon is the same entity that is slowly taking over, annexing, and assimilating Nalbrin, the planet that Galeth came from. But Nalbrin is just one of dozens of worlds that they're doing this to, and one of dozens of worlds that they've already done it to. The Imperium is a human-centric, world-spanning empire, a multi-world-spanning empire spread through conquest and trade. To many, they are seen as a shining height of civilization and a stabilizing force in this dangerous multiverse. To others, they are a monstrous, ever-growing evil that stamps out anything and everything it does not like or understand.
You can be both.
While it has gone through many cycles of growth and decline, in aggregate, it is simply too large to fail. There are whispers that the Empire is ruled not by the princes of the imperial families, but by something called the Undying Emperor. The Undying Emperor is not something you see or hear. It's just almost a myth, but at the same time, a great force. There are some in the Empire that might even worship the Undying Emperor. Much more visible, however, very rich, and surround themselves with guards and palaces and servants and many underlings in concentric rings that make them hard to access, are the princes of the imperial families. The princes are the Prince of Lions, the Prince of the Rose, the Prince of Ravens, the Prince of Robes, and the Prince of Dragons is an exiled near extinct family. Of course, these families also vie for power on the scales of controlling nations, peoples, religions, and perhaps even entire planets. There are some concepts about the Imperium. There's the Pax Consolidare, which means to consolidate things into the Empire. Things that are consolidated are peaceful. The Pax Matrimonium is also one way of extending the peace of the Empire, through marriage. And Pax Conversio, to convert people to the five-faced god of humanity and laws. There are civilizations that are pegged as suitable candidates to undergo these pieces. And they speak of, in grand terms, the steps of civilization. There are imperial princes and sovereign princes and victory princes, people who have achieved the title of prince through victory. Usually only awarded to dukes, however. There are dukes, grand dukes, victory dukes, regular dukes, counts underneath them, barons and knights. They still have this old, very clean nobility hierarchy in the empire itself. The empire is one of gunpowder. Their power comes through the gun. The muskets of the empire have killed thousands across many worlds. You know that the three pieces, or the pieces, have worked in a country when they have been able to conscript men into the religion and into the ranks, the rank and file of the armies of the empire, that then go out and bring their pieces to more and more worlds. There are some core worlds, however, that are really important to the empire. Immensa is a recent acquisition that is loved for its beauty, and the fact that there are beasts there that are called kaiju that wander the land. It's more of like a prize to the empire, but it's a prize that they've had for a long time. They may have outposts there, but it's almost like they use Immensa as proof of their greatness, that they're able to tame or start taming some of these great beasts. Volcanica is a dangerous place, but it's a place for molten rock and iron flow. And you can imagine, when you have the resources of empires or worlds, why that might be an important place. Oceanica has great archipelagos, big island nations. It's a tropical paradise. It produces certain types of fruits that can't be grown in other places. It's also a place where a lot of their superior boatcraft comes into play. And they claim that they've conquered Oceanica. You'd have to probably go there to see if that's correct. Pastoria.
Maybe a surface.
Pastoria is a breadbasket. It is a planet that has achieved this weird sort of pastoral peace. It's really boring there, is what nobles will tell you. Manors with just enough people to farm them, and really no dangers left. A peaceful place. An exemplar of what the Empire would bring. Could also be said that it's built upon the bones of the people that used to live in Pastoria. And perhaps that's why the crops grow so well. At least that's what common folk believe. And then Empirica itself. Empirica is steeped in the history of the Empire. For all intents and purposes, for people who live within the bounds of the Empire, Empirica is where it all began. It is where all the monuments are. It is where the imperial cities and vast palaces of the princes and the Undying Emperor. I'm not too sure where exactly he lives, but that's not for you to know. And Empirica is the center, is the hub of this place. Empirica, you know, has a song gate, and that's one of the ways that the Empire connects themselves with others.
Okay.
But they are very powerful. Magic is used by Imperials, not by citizens. There are strict laws on the use of magic. Mages and sorcerers, you have to be licensed by the Imperium to practice. It is strictly controlled by the imperial houses.
When you're saying mages, you mean like wizards?
Wizards.
What about clerics?
Mages. Clerics. If you're a cleric of the five-faced god of law and humanity, wonderful.
No problem.
5 faces is 4 too many faces. Can't be trusted. Get the fuck out of here with the 5-face bullshit.
There are
reach your face over here.
There are ways to be allowed to practice your faith, and there's a varying degree of bureaucracy that you would have to go through in order to be a registered practitioner of a non-traditional deity. And so they're not...
You come from the worst place. This is the worst one. There's the fire planet. That one's better.
Now, corruption does exist, and then there are those that keep their faiths hidden. For you to have a faith that is not of the five-faced god of law would probably mean your temple is really successful and thus taxed very heavily by the state itself.
Yes.
Midwick, you are from the Imperial City. Let me create a map with a wonderful picture that I found. We'll give a shout out to Robert D. Brown for this picture.
Mr. Brown.
Yep.
Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
Oh. Interesting. That's went in a way that I don't know the song, so it's just really creepy.
Should I go to streets?
No. No, stay off the other maps. Because that's where the other budding DMs are preparing.
Are trying to budding DM. On that note, there's some stuff in the VC for you to... Not for you, but the other you. Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere, don't worry.
Okay, Imperial City, robertdbrown.com is where you can find this wonderful image, and we're going to turn it into a battle map, or a map to kind of show where things are going on. Adjust grid. So there's the Imperial City. Somebody tapping something? Your mic? Are you while you're chewing? You're like.
Yeah, here.
Gapping. Sorry.
Looks good.
Rub,
Looks
rub,
good.
tap, tap, tap.
No, that's pretty kick-ass. Is this... Did you can do some map tools?
Yep. Now, Midwick is a gnome.
Yeah.
Midwick grew up in a place called Enclave, which is one of these buildings in the city itself. Let's put a dot where Enclave is. Just we'll make gnomes. I don't know, a green dot, and we'll stick Enclave here. And I'll put a label there. So you were born, grew up, and lived in the shadow of the monuments and palaces of the Imperium. A place called Enclave, a small settlement of gnomes, descendants of a conquered people, with a small degree of autonomy. The gnomes of Enclave, well, in exchange for their obedience and servitude, of course. One such pursuit that the gnomes have ingratiated themselves to the wealth and nobility, the imperial nobility, or royalty of the Imperium, is that of guncraft, bombs, and black powder creation. Strictly regulated. The Church of the Five-Faced God also comes to you for their guns, as they've got holy soldiers and guards and priests that really appreciate what the gnomes provide. Midwick took a liking to guns, to gunsmithing, and to alchemy, and worked alongside gnomish masters, including the infamous master Naxor Naxim, whose gunsmithing was years beyond what the Imperial soldiers used in the field. There were some growing complaints, just, amongst the gnomish gunsmith masters, that the Imperium seemed to, while they appreciated, the nobles really appreciated any sort of, small improvement to muskets, or to even guns well beyond muskets, and they visited regularly to look at all the neat little doodads and improvements and adjustments and new kit and gear. They seemed very reticent to adopt these improvements wholesale.
Going to make me get a friggin' dictionary. What the hell is a reticent?
They seemed reluctant.
The Dankeschön. How many years of school I have? That word wasn't in there.
Read a book.
Does Playboy count?
If you actually read, maybe. I was reticent to do the shoot.
What?
You asked if Playboy counted, and I was like,
yeah.
using the word in context,
Yep.
man. Okay.
Yeah.
We know words. All right. Why do you think that might be, Ahmed? Just, do you have an opinion on, muskets are, at least 50 to 100 years behind what the gnomes can create?
Sorry, my opinion on muskets?
Your opinion on why the Imperium does not adopt superior weaponry?
Okay, question. Do they buy any of the advanced stuff?
Oh, the nobility and the Imperials?
Yeah.
Eat this stuff up.
But it's not going into mass production.
No.
Yeah, I think it's because they probably don't want to lose the secrets. If this falls in, there must be others out there that can probably make this, and if they can get an idea of what else is out there, they might have more resistance. That might be it. But I don't know.
Midwick, So I've got some tokens for some folks that are important to your backstory or to your upbringing. So we've got this amazing technical wizard named Naxor Naxim. I'm on the conversation.
Best goggles ever. Oh God.
He plays with things that are not just 100, 200 years ahead, but that you swear are magical. But a different sort of magic.
Okay.
Like weird buttons and magical visors and things that glow not quite like your traditional magic does.
He's built, common terms, electronics.
Yeah, you've seen him handle devices. So not only does he create things and tinker with them, he is the known person to come to when they capture strange devices from other worlds.
Okay.
The word laser is something that you understand.
All right.
Now, you understand the word, you may not understand, well, it's magic, right? I've seen a scorching ray, I've seen a laser, they're kind of the same.
One comes from a device, the other comes from a finger. No problem.
You know that one of the princes, the Prince of Robes, carries one of these laser guns that he proudly brings everywhere he goes. And I'm just going to show you what the Prince of Robes looks like. A very powerful man that is very, very feared.
What a dude.
Oh, dude.
That guy's gotta go.
No, that guy is awesome. Also, okay, he's got to go. Yeah, but he's awesome.
Oh, man. You pick him well, don't you? Okay.
Tube from my belly button stuck into my ear? Yes, it is.
Is his name Baron von Slaughterbot? Because that would be an awesome name for him.
Yeah.
Midwick, if you could start up the device over there that is hooked up to the doohickey that's hooked up to the capacitor.
Yeah. Of course, Master.
You have no idea what he's doing. He's starting something that is going through something else that is then going to take some sort of energy from spinning wheels that starts to make your head hurt, and then there's sparks and electricity everywhere, and he has this little cartridge that he says is not full, and he's trying to fill it.
I'm just grabbing things, looking over at him, waiting for him to nod.
Yep.
Like this one.
No, shut it off! Shut it off!
Give me a reflex save.
Sure.
This is 6th level Midwick.
Yeah. Where's?
No, Midwick got blown up in the very first. Shocked his finger off.
Midwick's twin brother. 22?
22? Okay. So you don't have evasion or anything like that?
No.
All right. You have a strong fear or a healthy respect for what is an archaic term for electricity?
Lightning.
Lightning.
Ether charge, something along those lines. Like God's fire might be a thing, because what would you? I know that the Egyptians had it.
Yeah, so you you know it as bottled lightning.
Okay.
You have a healthy fear, like you don't understand it unless you've got some skill that you think might apply.
Knowledge engineering.
Give me a sec.
Knowledge architecture engineering actually wouldn't apply to it. There's if we added the D20 modern rules on top of it, there's a whole set of skills that actually you guys don't have access to because they're advanced.
So,
Nature.
Engineering doesn't apply?
Nature would allow you to understand that lightning would like strike tall objects and go to metals.
Can I add a skill later on?
Yep.
As this might be.
Yeah, you can adjust your 12th level Midwick build accordingly.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah,
Cool.
it's magic to you. It is complete bizarro stuff. But
Very cool.
he reassures you that it is bottled in that you can control it. But with the scorches that sent you to the infirmary that day, it didn't seem very controlled. Fucking wires flipping around and sparks coming out, and you tried to grab the wire, and you like wake up a little bit later. There is a calm woman that spends some time in the infirmary. She's your cousin. Her name is Andorra. Adorana, Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
It can be Andorra, whatever.
Hey, look at that! This is-
all right.
Adorana, that's fine. I just didn't read
Hey,
it.
that's not bad. Hey, not bad.
I see. Looks like a romantic relationship sparking up with my +1 charisma character.
It's your
It's
cousin.
your sister,
With
your
your
cousin,
cousin?
family, dude.
Hey, different world, man. Don't.
Don't judge, is that it?
How many gnomes are there? Come on.
All right, so Adorana.
All right, I like.
Why is she called Mad Dog?
Oh, she gets angry when she rages. She's got the which one is it? I'm trying to remember what the rage power is.
The biting
It's
one.
an ambulance.
Yes, it's the biting one.
She bites people when she gets angry.
Yeah, she bites people when she gets angry.
Oh, she's an
What he said.
Oracle Barbarian?
Yeah.
That bites people when she's angry.
Yes.
She's nature's angry princess? What the hell did you create, Mark?
Something awesome.
Created awesome. I've been watching that one for a while.
You know that she spends a lot of time in the infirmary. The gnomes of the Enclave keep her hidden, or at least she knows well enough not to show that she is a divine caster. She worships
Right.
something called the tree spirit. Give me a knowledge of nature for Midwick.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what the hell she's talking about there. Knowledge, nature, or religion?
Religion.
Well, Marty,
Yep.
the bag of candy is really close to the microphone.
Yeah.
It's now open. There shouldn't be too much more noise.
Get used to it.
Shut up. I do not have the knowledge of religion. I have the knowledge of nature.
Okay. So, do you have knowledge history?
Nope.
All right.
Sorry, I was too busy. Too busy with other skills.
Got it. So, your cousin tends to, and this is an opportunity where she actually does cast divine healing spells to heal you. She's a healer, diviner, right? Or oracle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, she does not cast negative energy.
What does she say to Midwick? This is like they were younger.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Midwick, what have you done to yourself?
It was a lab. I was, Master Naxor kind of, I touched the wrong thing.
I told you time and again, that man's crazy. Stay away from him. He's gonna get you killed.
He's the best there is. If I want to be anything, I'd be just like him.
Oh, don't say things like that. You're better than that. You can be whatever you want.
Look at how much respect they give him. I gotta be like that. I need his respect. Juice box.
Everyone who cares about you respects you. You don't need anyone else's respect. Now, does this hurt?
No!
But okay, don't touch that then.
Startling you a little bit, walks the deacon.
And the casting comes to an end.
The deacon is a gnome and a follower of the fivefold god of the Imperium.
Okay.
This makes him an amalgam of the two worlds, one of the conquered and the other of the conqueror. Deacons are the highest rank that a non-human may achieve in the Imperial Orthodoxy, which is also a name for the church. Some gnomes of the Enclave see him as a traitor, while others see him as a necessary, useful bridge between the Enclave and your human masters. Due to the importance of the Enclave, Deacon Havernan reports directly to Archbishop Extavius, much to the chagrin of a regional bishop by the name of Reverend. So he should actually go to report to the deacon. Should in the hierarchy go to bishops, but he's dotted lined all the way to an archbishop because you guys make guns. You understand crazy technology. They're never going to let your people go.
Yeah.
Let my people go.
The deacon is heavily involved in the research of the Enclave, as he is the one that oversees delivery of research materials safely to the Imperial inspectors.
Okay.
I hear there was another accident. Is everything all right in here? He glances to Adarana.
Like you said, it was just an accident. He'll recover. I do think, however, he should spend less time with Master Naxor. Perhaps he could use another assistant.
Master Naxor has taken a liking to Midwick. In fact,
Yeah, I don't want to leave.
we have high hopes for Midwick. He seems to be able to at least speak to people about technology. And I hear that you are quite a crack shot with these pistols.
Yeah, well, you get to fire a lot of them just to make sure they work. Needless to say, I come in here with a lot of hand injuries. But that's how you learn whether they works or not, right?
He comes over and he has a look at the wound, which you've already healed, so basically it's now just superficial kind of like burn marks from the electricity. It doesn't look too bad. He actually inspects. He looks at Adarano with a bit of suspicion, but doesn't say anything.
It was kind of, wasn't that bad, really. It shocked me a little bit, but not more. No more than that. But still, got a twitch in my hands.
After you're done here, I would like to talk to you about, and then the whole room begins to shake. It sounds like there's an explosion, like really, really deep underground. Now, the Enclave itself is a considerable sized building. It's about 6 stories above the streets. But on the substrata, which is the name of the sewers and anything below the ground in the Imperial City, the substrata, the gnomes have continued, and sometimes secretly to their human masters, continue to expand their enclave deeper and deeper underground. This has brought them into conflict with several other clans or enclaves of subjugated peoples, including the goblins of the substrata and the kobolds that maintain the aqueduct.
So we have goblins and kobolds here.
Yep. There is a de facto war going on in the substrata that the humans don't know about.
Well, that's about to change, I guess.
Yes. It sounds like something exploded. Havernan looks very troubled. Was that one of our laboratories? Our storage units is what he says. And he
does he know about them or not? Is he like the guy who kind of knows but still helps out and doesn't tell, or he was kept out of it?
He's got one foot in both worlds.
Okay.
He is trusted by neither.
Yeah. Okay.
Find out what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Get your medical bag is what he yells to Adarana.
Okay.
Hat on?
Of course, Deacon.
Marty, how is the Imperium with alchemists? Because it's not magic, but it is magic. like the potions and stuff.
They're also regulated.
Okay. Am I regulated? Like,
They
have
are-
I?
They are. You have to be registered with the Imperium.
So I didn't register.
No, you're registered with the Imperium.
I am registered. Okay.
Yep. They know about you. They know about you because you work on guns. They're starting to groom you to be the person to show off the new guns as the nobles come in.
Should have picked somebody with more charisma.
More charisma.
They've got talkers. They've got Havernans. They've got people who can talk. They need someone.
I need
who
somebody
can shoot well.
who can aim.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need someone to wow the princes and their underlings and the powerful priests that come in to buy this weapon.
You know, you just need that studio session guy to come in and do a wailing guitar solo. It doesn't matter if he looks like a whatever. Yep.
Okay. So the attack actually isn't one of the storehouses that has gunpowder blowing up in one of the deep cells. Isn't one of the laboratories blowing up. It's an attack on the gates of the Enclave itself. Specifically, the places that the Enclave have slowly moved into by the substrata goblins. Thus begins the sewer wars. The secretive conflict between the gnomes and the goblins of the substrata who serve the Cloaca King.
Let's do this.
Interesting word about the cloaca. Cloaca is what the Romans called their sewer.
Okay.
It's also the single hole that are in birds. It's kind of like the back end.
It's where the stuff happens.
Do not want
the
Classy.
Cloaca King. There shouldn't be a king. There shouldn't be like some ostentatious title. It's like a secretive king that the goblins have, and the goblins want to underdo what the gnomes have done. Midwick is a veteran of the sewer wars. And, like, it's not just the conflict in the substrata. This is actually, there's, like, pitch fighting beneath the streets of the Imperial City between gnomes and goblins. How well you fare in this conflict depends on how the dice go and what Mark has in store for you.
Man.
As he's prepared several encounters, I think, or a situation.
It is a situation, yes.
Okay. During the sewer wars, through which Midwick comes out of as we'll say a hero. This, however, is 6th level Midwick. And does the situation require Adarana or not?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Do I have all my gear with me all the time, like right now, or do I have to go pick it up from the lab?
Which sewer map do you want, Mark? Yeah, I don't think
Sewer map 1.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know when I can go there, and I assume Midwick gets his gear from wherever that is and heads down to where that.
Yeah,
Gets-
there's some time that passes. There's like you going down in the sewers and fighting and like going back, so it's been going on for days, I assume.
Okay.
By this point. Is this right at the beginning of the conflict, Mark, or has it been going on for some time?
It'd actually be better if it was like a couple days after it started.
Okay, great. I've put a bunch of tokens down, Mark. And
Where are they?
They are just in the north.
Oh, okay. So they're very tiny. That's why I don't see
Yeah,
them.
and I'm gonna adjust the sizes of the goblins to be small. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is Dump Bear medium or large?
Dump Bear is medium. Yes.
Okay.
Dump. That's a good name.
And then,
Hey, buddy.
And then the horror is huge.
Let me double check. I do believe it is huge. Yes.
Don't worry, there's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, I was muting. It was... I don't wanna know.
All right. Can you?
I can.
Who's you?
Marty.
Yep.
Okay.
I make a token out of. If you go to Midwick's backstory, I just put in a thing for gnome soldiers because he's gonna get a bit of help.
Oh, cool. Midwick's backstory.